Hello, and welcome back to the Masters Mod. Turns out that between this episode and the last, version 2.0 came out. And, yeah, I've been playing on version 1.6 since now. So, 4 updates, and, yeah. At least we're not too far along, at least in terms of the boss fights. But, in terms of the big fights, the only real one we have to redo is the last Seymour one, because my initial strategy definitely does not work anymore. If you summon Belfour to use the overdrive off the bat, yes, you will still take out the Guados, but now Seymour's HP is low, or it's lower, and once you get past a higher threshold of that HP, then he'll start phase 2. So now I need to take it first phase a little bit slower, but after that, the strategy remains the same. So now the main challenge is the first phase. Well, it always was the first phase, but now it's actually surviving Seymour while we take down the 2 Guado, who are shelled and protected. The overall strategy is about the same, where you get a summon overdrive and take them out, but now it just so happens that Seymour knows White Wind, and since I neglected to learn it from the Chocobo Eater, Kimahri can learn it now. And when you learn a new overdrive with Kimahri, he gets a full overdrive meter instantly. So we use that to do a Mighty Guard, and with that, we're doing pretty well against Seymour's damage. I ended up customizing a poison-proof armor for Titus, and then provoking both of the Guado, so now they're just throwing Tremedies on him, and so now they are no longer a problem with damaging with ice or doing any of that. They're just throwing Tremedies. So as long as we keep everyone in high health and shelled and have the appropriate null skill, the null element on, we should be good. Then we just need to get a null fire off of both of the Guado, so we just need to attack them both with a fire weapon, and then we can summon Ifrit. So now Ifrit will take out the Guado, but since his overdrive is elemental, Seymour won't take any damage at all. And then we go on with the old strategy of bring out Ixion to nullify all of his protective stuff. Then we just make sure that Riku and Titus are hasted up for the animal portion, and then throw in Auron for the burst damage at the end to threaten Seymour and make sure that we can burst him down. Which, now that his health is lower, it is easier to do that. So I went along the patch notes and saw most of the changes didn't really seem to affect what we've already gone through. There's been a couple of equipment pieces that got changed around, so like Waka's blind proof and fire SOS no blaze armlet got changed to a slow proof. And then also Kimahri had access to a magic counter weapon. So I changed what I bought from Waka, and I ended up getting that counter magic because I know that I definitely want it, and I hacked out my money and all that stuff. Now jumping back to the present, we have to get through home, and there aren't many encounters here, but they are really challenging. They're really tough, so we gotta do some prep work. So first I am making a SOS no blaze because Waka's is now a slow proof, so I have to make a new one of those. And then I also want to teach Riku Sleep Buster and Titus Demi. Demi got a huge buff in this version because, or in this mod in general, because now it works on a lot of bosses. So you can do insane amounts of damage with Lulu and Titus. And now that Titus has the half MP on the Brotherhood, that does a ton. So in a combination of Lulu, Titus, and Riku, all being able to Demi because Riku has Copycat, we can throw out a lot of damage on a lot of bosses. That, and I'm making a super tanky armor for Auron in HP plus 30. He already had the plus 10% attack from the boss drop. And then I'm giving him auto regen because really there's not much else you would want to use regen on. Maybe later on I'll give that 4th slot zombie proof or something like that. But this is a good tanky weapon for Auron because in this first encounter with the 3 bombs and the Guado is really, that's tough to survive. They hit really hard, but the bombs will always hit physically first. So if we get Ornn to guard in there and throw a protect on him with Riku, then he can get the counter attack and he won't die. But then also the bombs will not get their protect off because they attack into a counter instead of just getting hit and then responding to that with their protector shell. But that's only the first turn. We still need to make sure that the Guado is neutralized. This is why we gave Sleep Buster to Riku, or one of the reasons why. So that way we can keep the Guado asleep, and if we get a lucky poison, that's great too. But then we focus down on the bombs one by one, make sure that they go down, don't get healed, and yeah, just generally decrease their damage output to us. The double dual horn encounter is also a lot of damage, as is everything here nowadays, but you can neutralize them by blinding, and again, these Guado are not like Seymour's, they do not guard for the fiends. So if we blind them, then they're really not too dangerous anymore, but they do have their flame attack after their charge. So make sure that you have an SOS No Blaze on board. For these fights, actually, I like to keep Kimahri and Wakka in the yellow if they can, so that way they can have their Null Blaze, and I can swap them in whenever a charge attack comes up. The main issue is just giving them enough damage, so yeah, we can throw out a Demi when they're both on the field to get a whole lot of value out of that MP. The save spear is pretty close, so you don't have to be too stingy with it. Really, you just want to get through the tough encounters. The flying eyeballs aren't really that bad. You have good magic damage, offensive alchemy potions, and then also offensive items that can take them out with maybe 2 or definitely 3 hits. Then Guado actually can't heal them because they're zombified. Now, the double Chimera fight is super tough, because again, they have basically a multitude of ways to hit you. Very hard physically, very hard magically, and then also their magic cannot be completely nullified by silence because some of them are like a special attack or something like that. So, that's another reason why we have Riku being a Sleep Buster person now. So now both her and Wakka can take turns essentially completely shutting them down, and then also making sure that the Guado can't heal, so we burst him down first. Then again we have a lot of demis, so they have a big HP pool, so use it first to do a lot of the big damage off the bat, and then if they get poisoned and they get their turns whittled down, even better. But yeah, these guys, they're no joke, so definitely dump all the damage you can into them. Then we can get the rest of the chests all along home. They're not as good as they were in the base game, but they're still pretty nice because now we can customize basically any of the easy status touch weapons that we want, and we have some extra money to use too, so that's never a bad thing. Once we get to the airship, I use Rin to restock.
We gotta pay? If we lose, you'll die too, buddy.
And then customize some other status stuff for the party.
Dragway.
Now that Kimahri has haste, I definitely want him to have the Sense Preserver, since he's going to do a lot of physical damage with his Dark Attack and other ailments. And then also every so often cast haste. And then Lulu, since she got the Berserk Proof drop from the Wendigo, turns out the new update made it so that it's Berserk Proof plus counter. That actually kind of makes it worse now that we have one less free slot. But I'll give her weapon Poison Touch, since maybe if she dodges and counters, then she'll be able to poison something. Because, you could argue blindness, but poison's never a bad thing to put on an enemy. Then we have Evrea as our next boss fight. So, again, if you want to do it yourself, that's great. Feel free to come back. This fight is pretty cool. It's all about managing statuses, ailments, buffs, and debuffs. I guess all of them are, but this one especially. Now, basically, you need to make sure that your guys have enough turns to be able to respond to the wind-up poison breath that he has. But all the while, he's hasting himself, trying to slow you down, occasionally petrifying you, and then countering most everything with Delay Buster. Now, he can be blinded, so if you throw a Dark Buster at him, then you don't have to worry too much about the counterattacks. But still, the statuses do definitely come up very quickly. Luckily for me, I have haste in both Titus and Kamari, so I can haste up the party pretty easily. And both Riku and Lulu have a slow proof, so that's pretty good. Now his updated Flying Photons attack does a whole lot of statuses, including sleep, so that's really scary. But if you magic break him, then you probably will survive until you get another turn. You just need to make sure that your party is adequately hasted or he's slowed, so definitely make sure that your health is high enough to be able to survive maybe an attack before your guys wake up. You might also have gotten a little bit luckier than me on some of the drops. I know that Lulu has a sleep-proof weapon, so maybe if you have someone else on the front line who has it, that would be great. But for me, I just keep my guys fast and hope that they can wake up before they die. Now, one thing that's pretty easy about this fight is using my favorite strategy, because if Auron happens to be on the field when the Sloga pops up, you can just tag him out and then use Threaten when ready. Not only will that give a lot of turns, but it'll erase the haste status on him, so that's great. So, that's what I'll do. Just make sure that everyone who's going to be doing a lot of damage is hasted up so they can take advantage of all the extra turns, and in this case, exploit his ice weakness. But that'll be it for today. So if you stuck around, thanks. And if you liked the video, I like your face. Bye.